No Dogs Allowed. Story by Sonia Manzano. Illustrated by Jon J. Muth. This is the title page. The title is again, No Dogs Allowed. The author is Sonia Manzano, and the illustrator is Jon J. Muth. Hi, my name is Iris. I'm 7. And once a long while ago, when I was 6, I lived in a place called the Bronx, in the kingdom of 3rd Avenue, in the land of New York City, with a big sister named Shorty the fortune teller, who could tell the future by rolling her eyes, a mother named Mammy the busy, because she was always busy doing something, a father named Pappy the clever, who, with a touch of a hand, and about 5 or 6 hours, could fix anything, and a dog named El Accente, because he didn't do a thing. One day we decided to go to the lake in the Enchanted State Park. We woke up very early. That's how you beat the traffic and get a good picnic table. It was so early it was still dark outside. It was so early I had extra trouble waking up El Accente because he's very good at sleeping. Is anyone in your house hard to wake up because they're very good at sleeping? My Mammy the busy and my Pappy the clever was getting everything ready. Mammy made a little lunch and a little after-lunch snack. Then she made a little dinner and a little after-dinner snack. Then she made dessert and a little something for the road in case we got hungry. My Pappy packed, saying, "Only take what you know you'll really need to go on a picnic." Do you think Mammy packed only what she needed in food? My big sister, Shorty the fortune teller, packed a few essentials. That looks like a lot more than a few essentials to me. And I was packing for El Accente when my sister yelled, rolling her eyes, "Mom! Iris can't bring that dog, can she? There'll be nothing but trouble if he comes." "There'll be nothing but trouble if he stays," said my Mammy. Which do you think is more true? More trouble if he goes with them, or more trouble if he stays at home? We lugged our things to the sidewalk and met my cousin Carmen the beautiful. She brought her traveling beauty parlor. My other cousin, Marta the smart, she brought a few books. My Aunt Tutu, the happily married, and her brand new husband, Juan, they were so in love that they could only bring each other. Jon J, the grocer, who brought his deli counter. The wise old people who wisely brought a table, chairs, and a box of dominoes so they could finish a game they started 100 years ago when they were young in Puerto Rico. And a few neighbors from the tri-state area. They brought things too. That looks like an awfully lot of people. We loaded our trucks and cars and trailers and off we went. We never took the highway. Pappy said old roads were better to break down on. Which we did. "I knew we were going to break down," said my big sister, Shorty the fortune teller, rolling her eyes. "That's okay," said my Mammy. "We can have a snack, and it gives me a chance to crochet a nice cloth for the picnic table. And it gives me a chance to rotate the tires after I fix the car," said Pappy cleverly. "And I can fix my hair a bit," said Carmen the beautiful. "And I'll have time to finish reading this grim fairy tale," said Marta the smart. "And I was just getting to the good part. And I'll be able to make some sandwiches to have before, during, and after we get to the lake," said Jon J the grocer. My Aunt Tuta, the happily married, and her brand new husband, Juan, gazed into each other's eyes and said, "Oh boy, this gives us a chance to spend some more time together before we get to the lake, to spend even more time together." The wise old people didn't say anything, but looked around wisely, set up their table and chairs, and broke out the dominoes. Anybody who wasn't changing a tire, looking for a car jack, or crawling under their car got busy preparing a snack for anybody who was changing a tire, looking for a car jack, or crawling under their car. Anybody left over got a chance to do whatever they wanted to do. I got a chance to play tug of war with El Accente. He was very good at that. So I knew exactly where the road map was when my pappy wanted to check it so we wouldn't get lost once we were on the road again. But we got lost anyway. I knew we were going to get lost, said my big sister Shorty the fortune teller, rolling her eyes. Think of it as an adventure, said my mammy. Besides, it gives us a chance to visit other neighborhoods and practice our English when we ask for directions. One day we actually got there. It's a miracle, said my big sister Shorty the fortune teller. I couldn't wait to do all the things that I've been thinking of, like jumping in the enchanted lake and getting some enchanted sun and eating some enchanted lunch and taking an enchanted nap and building some enchanted sandcastles. And that's when my big sister's eyes stopped rolling long enough for her to read the enchanted sign that read, "No dogs allowed, enchanted or otherwise." I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! She was hopping mad. I knew this was going to happen. I gulped. My sister was right. El Accente did cause trouble. This was terrible. What were we going to do? Go home after breaking down and getting lost because El Accente was a dog? He couldn't help it. He was born that way. Besides, being a dog was what he did best. Why weren't dogs allowed at the lake anyway? I looked at Mammy. My Mammy and Pappy looked at each other. Everyone started talking at once, in English and in Spanish. Then Pappy said, "Wait a minute. Can you all be quiet so we can figure out what to do?" "We'll never figure out what to do," said my sister, rolling her eyes. But everyone was too busy trying to figure out what to do to hear her. Then my pappy yelled, "Calince!" at the top of his voice. This means, in case you didn't guess, quiet in Spanish. And then he thought for the longest minute of my life. Finally, he said cleverly, "Look, these packages are heavy. We might as well put them on a nice picnic table until we figure out what to do." And then my mammy got busy saying, "It's hot. I might as well mix some coconut pineapple punch and set out the blankets in a nice shady spot until we figure out what to do." And Carmen the Beautiful said, "Well, I might as well put on my swimsuit in case Prince Charming shows up until we figure out what to do." And Marta the Smart said, "I might as well go make some fairy tale sandcastles until we figure out what to do." And Don Joe the grocer said, "We might as well eat those sandwiches I made until we figure out what to do." My Aunt Tuta, the happily married, and her brand new husband Juan had decided to put their heads together and take a walk around the lake to try to figure out what to do. And the wise old people had already wisely sized up the situation and found the perfect tree to play dominoes under until somebody else figured out what to do. Then Pappy the Clever said, "We should take turns staying with El Accente in the parking lot until we figure out what to do." So that day, in the parking lot of the Enchanted State Park, my dog had his fur done by Carmen, was read to by Marta, was fed by Don Joe, was babysat by my Aunt Tuta and her husband Juan, played dominoes with the wise old people, had his paw read by my sister, and was hugged and kissed by me until we could figure out what to do. And before we knew it, it was dark. My cousin, Marta the Smart, couldn't read anymore. Aunt Tuta and her brand new husband, Juan, were anxious to get home to start becoming an old, happily married couple. Carmen the Beautiful had put rollers back in her hair. Plus, there was nothing left to eat. It was time to leave. And as we drove home, Alexante and I agreed that my sister Shorty the fortune teller was right. Both times. Alexante did cause trouble, and we never did figure out what to do. But it didn't matter because we both felt tired and sleepy and happy and sandy, just like you should feel after spending the day at the Enchanted State Park. The end.